December 17, 2026, or 23, excuse me. I came down with ulcerative colitis and jaundice. I was in a relationship, and trying to figure out what's going on. Anyways, I was in a relationship, and ended up getting left by not drinking anymore. And when I came down with jaundice and ulcerative colitis at the same time, I it went through some life changes, and let me see, I couldn't eat anything, drink any liquids for X amount of months. I lost 60 to 80 pounds in about 66 months, 6 to 8 months. And in this process, I was so weak. I turned yellow. I was throwing up, pissing, shitting out blood, and coughing up blood, and all that. And a lot of people that I surround myself with going through these addictions, bad habits, character patterns. I thought I surrounded myself with good people. I was looking for love, community, loyalty, and instead of surrounding myself with wrong people, I paid for people to stick around, to party, to hang out, and vice versa. While I was going through these changes, I had family coming help, brother and mother, and they said some truths, hurtful truths. Provided shelter, and past relationships, people that I've been with, say things to me, call me certain names, and I had to look at myself hard. I had to look at myself in the mirror, and when I did, take responsibility of my actions that I created for myself. Responsibility, because I surrounded myself with the wrong people. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, F that, I'm a Marine. And I started working on myself. Started studying, started improving, started taking care of myself with self-love. I gave that fire within to overcome my obstacles. And this whole time for me, I'm Navajo, and I have my culture and tradition. So I was praying to Ian, which Navajo is God. And I was using medicinal marijuana to help me. I would pray with it and find out my ailments, and then I would smoke mountain, like tobacco. That's what I did mountain smoke. And so in all this, I started pushing myself, getting stronger. I was so weak I couldn't do a push-up. I'm a push-up. I started off with like other push-ups where you can use and do it that way, and slowly I started strengthening myself mentally, spiritually, faithfully, emotionally, physically, and I thought to myself about going through deep detox, allowing my body to kill off all the diseases and harmful things I did to myself. And I became stronger from studying books, started taking care of myself, I played a native flute, and started really investing in time in myself and taking care of myself, working out, eating healthy. Also have a culinary background, and I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years. I'm a disabled veteran. And had long hair too, down past my ass. And I started just taking care of myself, living myself. And it was just me and God. And there were some blessings in the mix who were there helping me out, because at the time, the people that I thought would be there for me ended up leaving, gave me some hard truths, and I had to dig deep, persevere, resilience, built trust within myself and God. And so it came close to June, and there was a ranger that my brother introduced me to that I could confide in. I confided in him what was going on. He'll check up, and one time he came over with his lady. He said he won a court case to get his child back, and he did. But I recognized that he was drinking, and I didn't want nobody around me at that time that drank, because of what I went through. I'm drawn to this and having ulcerative colitis. I went from 235 pounds to 127 pounds. And so he came over intoxicated and started some stuff with me verbally. And he did a knife hand to me like this and said, "Hey Marine, get your ass to bed." And it triggered me in a way that, don't say that to me. It led to hurt, led to my old self. I went to grab the K-bar, which is like a knife, and I went inward, but then I flicked my wrist and threw it to the bed and told him, "You gotta get out of here." And he left, and later on that same night I broke down and prayed to the end, God, and asked him for forgiveness, and repented because of I didn't want to go back to my old self. I put that side away from me, and checked myself into the psych ward. And while I was there, I had an epiphany that I did like a rules of engagement without realizing I was doing it. And I communicated to the counselors in the group saying that, hey, I'm going through this, one experience, and I need to get put in a safe place. From there, I started working on my inner child, and started developing, doing the shadow work of my inner child in my childhood. And I told myself that my inner child, my younger self, is to be stronger than the Marine. Will become way stronger, become all these obstacles. While going through this process, detoxifying, going through all this stuff, I saw the Grim Reaper. I saw death in the mirror. And when I left that, just the hospital, I had an allergic reaction where, like corn, anything like corn syrup or anything that caused hemorrhoids, that caused abscess, and that abscess turned into a blood clot. The blood clot turned into a fatal blood clot, which led to my heart. And any stress, bad diet, any raise in my heart rate, or cardiovascular exercises, if that clot pops, that'll be it. And like I said, I did a lot of work on myself. Started working on like doing calisthenics, gotten stronger. A lot of self-care, self-love, and there was some good, but also I wasn't getting help from a lot of places in Arizona, like Flagstaff, Civilian Side, and the VA, Flagstaff, and Prescott, and Tucson, and Phoenix, trying to get a surgery done because this was causing life changes in my life, and trying to receive help. And people question me. There's so many obstacles in my life that it was real difficult for me to get around and ask for help. And I was going through my own stuff, personal stuff, with a lot of anger and resentment and breaking down. And eventually got surgery done. But there was a lot of things that when I had this hemorrhoids and blood clot, that it caused so much pain in my life, it broke me down in a way that when I go to the hospital and ask for help, they tell me to do a sitz bath. If it flares up again, come to the hospital, we'll do something, we'll get a surgery done. But it was pushed constantly, up to 8 months. Like I said, I went down to, I called the Phoenix VA while I was at Flagstaff Medical Center, and was asking for help. And so yeah, we got all the stuff, we're ready for you to do the surgery. So I found my own ride down there. I called another veteran buddy of mine up. He was in the Army. And he came and picked me up. Took me to Phoenix Hospital in the VA. When I got down there, he said, "I don't know what you're talking about." They looked at me and said, "Yeah, we don't have the proper tools or surgeries. We can't do the surgeries for you," after they told me that I will get the surgery done. So I started walking back to Flagstaff. That's probably like 3 to 5 miles. And then my buddy called. He said, "Hey man, what's the word?" And I told him what happened. So he had his girlfriend come pick me up and drop me off in Flagstaff. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because the relationship I was in with, I had some earrings, abalone shell earrings, circle ones, you know. They disappeared in this relationship, and in the Navajo witchcraft, they take things from you. Skinwalkers, that's what I'm talking about, and they use your items for whatever reason, evil. And I'm looking back on it now. That was the time I got real sick. And it led to other things. So in the jump, I ended up getting surgery. But after that surgery, it was still a long process of healing and going through that pain. And I'm telling you, that pain is no joke. It's no bueno. It broke me. I wanted to give up on my life because when I had the hemorrhoids and the blood clot, I was low crawling to the bathtub with no help. It caused stroke problems. It gave me a heart attack where I was laid out in the, like, crunched up, like this. And that was the only way for me to breathe, was like this. And I couldn't stand up straight. I couldn't lay flat on my back and my legs stretched out because of my extremities. Everything was ice cold. I was turning purple and all this. And because I had no help, no way to call 911 because I broke my phone. I prayed. I was talking to God, asking for forgiveness, repenting, communicating in spirit to my family, letting them know, hey, I love them. Going through the names in the bathtub. I spent many hours in the bathtub doing sitz bath, trying to breathe. I would low crawl because no one's there to help me out. There's a few times my uncle, he's another Marine, would come check up on me as well, make sure I'm okay. And he would do prayers too. And there's a case manager that helped me out. She was the best because she was a blessing in disguise as well. And in this, she would go above and beyond, with her staff, and they brought food for me and groceries because it's real difficult for me to get around. I had no transportation. So anytime I walked out in the city, I had to focus on my core and my breathing exercises to not alleviate or bring up my heart rate, because if that clot at the time, if it would pop, that would have been it for me. So I had to be really careful, be really precise, and I got to know myself, because in the bathtub, when I'm doing the sitz bath, if the blood clot was in my left-sided cheek, it would cause cardiac arrest problems, heart attack, stroke symptoms. And if the blood clot was on the right-sided cheek, it's 100 times more the pain. And I was able to move it around. And like I said, it was very painful. Something I experienced going through this process. It changed me for the better. There's pain, there's hurt. I turned it to positive. As much as pain it gave me to go through these cycles of changes and transform my body, detoxifying, changing my diet, changing the way I think, to have hope and faith, and a continuous of praying to God in my way, Navajo way, using tobacco. And so there's a lot of transitions. And I was in and out of the VA, checking in and out, because having like crazy thoughts about myself, intrusive thoughts. So I'll seek help. Um, and then while going to the Prescott VA, checking into the domiciliary, I was going through the cycle of changes, and they said they could provide stuff for me there, which when I got there, they really didn't have things that were for me. And me being Navajo and having difficulty expressing my culture on the VA grounds, advocating for myself, and trying to get my spirituality out there, and not just mine, but other people's faith. Because there was discrimination, prejudice, even though there's a sign that says no discrimination against religion, sex, ethnic, and race. So there was always an obstacle, and this is normal for me. I always dealt with it. I'm 39. I dealt with it my whole life, and trying to ask for help. And I'm always coming across these events and these trials and tribulations and challenges for myself to really express myself, to be my genuine authentic self, especially with my culture and where I come from. When I seek help from the nurse and stuff and say, hey, I need someone to talk to, they wouldn't look at me. They wouldn't acknowledge me. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, fuck this. I'll just go figure it out them for myself. So I'll call other Marines. I'll call my brothers. Talk to them. And the VA is there to help out, but didn't help me out. So I ended up leaving, going back to the reservation. I got evicted from my apartment complex that I was at, and ended up living on the reservation with no running water, no electricity for about a year. It slowed things down for me, and I felt good out there because it was just me and my grandpa and my culture, and using that, me being a veteran, using my benefits, but it helped me out. And there was some help out there. I'm not saying it was all bad, but it was a difficult lesson. I appreciated things more. I'm not saying that I didn't before. I overlooked it with my bad behaviors and addictions and stuff. I love living that lifestyle though. Living on a reservation with no running water, no electricity. There's peace there. Because when you step away from the city life, from civilization, and go back to when I went back home to the reservation, with no running water, no electricity, you start showing appreciation for the little things. To be able to wake up every morning and pray before the sun comes up. Like at dawn in the morning, you know, when it's like purple and orange, right before the sun comes up. So this one told us to pray. And I was sleeping in my car. And out there we have a lot of land. Family has cattle, horses, canyons. And it's in northern Arizona, so you got a bunch of stars you can see at night, and it's beautiful. And I miss that freedom. Because when I'm in the city life or living urban areas, I feel trapped. Like invisible walls. So I started getting problem with my PTSD again kicking in. I'm 100% PTSD disabled. Um, I was in Afghanistan, and in 2010, October 2nd to second week of May, I was in Helmand Province. I was a vehicle operator. Um, after I got out in 2012, I had a lot of losses, even myself included. And I was losing 3 to 5 people a year, either to them taking themselves out or the cops taking them out. And it's a lot of grief, a lot of heartache. And I know I'm not the only one of these veterans that go through this, or people that go through these atrocities. But I know it helped me experience a lot, where I had a lot of faith, praying to God. And at the time I was still praying, but it wasn't, I guess you could say, as strong, because I was still doing the same bad stuff. And over the years I did a lot of in and out of treatments, getting the help that I need. So I'll jump back to now. Last year I went to Prescott, VA in August to go to treatment. And like what happened before, I went down there. Me and my mom had difficulties. I had resentment for her because of my childhood. And it took a lot to let her know, like, hey, I resent you. I'm sorry that I feel this way. So there was a lot of back and forth. And it was real difficult. I left to go check into the VA because I had snapped in a way, and smoked weed to calm myself down until I got to the VA. But while I was going down, I was having very negative thoughts towards myself. And when I got there to the VA, I said, hey, I need help while doing intake. I need someone to talk to. Who could I talk to? Once again, the nurse that was doing the intake, she didn't acknowledge me. She didn't look at me. And I was so frustrated and hurt that I said, fuck the VA. So I ended up leaving. Breaking down. I pulled over because I knew I shouldn't be driving under the emotional regulation of my body. And the betrayal and not getting the help. So I called my uncle, he's another Marine. He helped calm me down. First I called the crisis line and told them my situation. Hey, I need someone to talk to. And I told them I was at the VA when I left because they weren't helping me. I was in crisis. And I ended up hanging up on them, talking to my uncle, because my uncle was calming me down, just processing everything that I was going through. And that normally helps me out. And then the Dom chief over there from Prescott Dom started calling me, "Hey, Mr. Goodman, when you coming back? Are you okay? You safe?" So they're going through the protocols that they need to do. I said, "You're not helping. You're frustrating me. I'm in crisis, and you guys are not helping me out. You guys didn't acknowledge me. So you guys didn't step in. You didn't offer any assistance. You ignored me." When I'm saying crisis, I'm talking about that high alert crisis where I can't say it over here on this video, but the help that gets you the crisis in a way that it should be helped and get you into psych ward type crisis. So going back and forth from the crisis line and then the Dom chief at the Prescott VA, they're telling me when that happens, they call the cops, and the cops come looking for you. And that's what I was seeing. I was seeing the sheriff and police driving by, because like I said, it was in crisis. And eventually I got back to the VA, checked in, then they provided the help. And it's frustrating because when I try to communicate for help, ask for guidance to work through these problems, they won't acknowledge it. Up until I left the VA, and I did get some counseling, I did get some help, someone to talk to. So it started working out for a little bit. And then I met my roommate. He was Navajo as well. And he asked me for my clans. I told him my clans. And we both don't know how the clan system works, so I was like, "Oh, you know what, I'm gonna go find another Navajo." So we found another Navajo and asked him, "Hey, what's this?" So he said, "Oh, you guys are cousins." I'm like, "Actual cousins." And I found out he was my little brother, cousin. And his name is Chris Harding. And then I met another Marine. So, like I said, when I advocate for my Navajo police and the VA government, advocate for it, knowing when I had my certain medicines, you say I can't have that there. But if you look at the Native American Freedom Religious Act, it says no government or agency can take away those items of sacred items of your medicines to have on government property. And I brought this bitter medicine in. I already knew the answer, but I challenged it. I asked the staff, "Hey," and he asked the Don Chief if I could have this. So he came out. He got big on me. He pulled me aside in a room, just me and him. And he said if I had that there, I can't be there. And I said, you guys have a sign out there that says no discrimination against religion, sex, and your race. So I challenge, like I said, I challenge it all the time when I go to the VA, and I always get shut down because of my culture. And it hurts. I challenge it because I'm also Mormon. I was raised Mormon. I was baptized. And but throughout my life, I experienced a lot of discrimination, prejudice, because of the color of my skin, because who I am, and my belief system. And like I said, it's normal to me. I see the patterns, I see the behaviors, I see the characters of those that agree with that. And it's normalized in the society. So I would pull a Marine aside and go out. I had to pull the Marine aside when we stepped out to the smoke pit. I was talking to him about these things. Eventually these two, chaplain and ethics personnel came over from the VA. They came out and talked to me. They started talking all big to me up until I said, I'll take this to legal. I'll contact the White House. I'll contact who I need to contact. Until I said that, they switched up the tone with me. And with the gentleman that was talking to me, he understood because he was black and he sees it. And the chaplain, she was very nice. Eventually I met a medicine man that did ceremonies down in Phoenix at the VA, on-site ceremonies. I was able to get a hold of him because the chaplain mentioned him. And I did a video call with the Dom Chief, chaplain, this medicine man. And the medicine man explained and expressed he's part of the Native American Navajo Medicine Man Association, and he has his degrees. And he explained to him what this medicine is for, what it's used for, where it's from. And they proved it. They proved for Native Americans to be able to burn sage or cedar inside their rooms, and to allow bitter medicine to be brewed as well, and that was to ward off evil and bad. And while I was there, I got triggered because I found 3 individuals that triggered me, that sent me to. I ended up getting police escort to the emergency room. The staff there, because I had problems with my chest, like I said, like cardiac problems in the past, stroke symptoms and heart attack problems. They questioned me and said that they need to check on, give me AKG, which they never did. They did a good cop and bad cop method. They questioned me about these individuals. It was pressing me. And I already called it out before it happened. I said, you guys are just gonna lock me up if I tell you the truth, if I really tell you what's going on. Because these are things I need help working through. These emotions, these thoughts. So when I opened up, I ended up going to the emergency room, police escort. And they tried to petition to get me a Title 36 in Arizona, which is court ordered. So these two individual Marines would check up on me. And I met the medicine man down in Phoenix. He did a prayer for me. I got removed from the program. Then eventually I made it back. Went back to the reservation. And then I started seeking out help, resources again. Kind of the same process over and over again. I went back to Flagstaff, Arizona, and started getting help. And I was able to get myself a home in an apartment. And I went back to Prescott, get some of my stuff. And I met up with those two Marine brothers of mine. He said, "This is the past." I told them I'll be there for them, help them out when they get out of the program. So I helped out one. He came out, stayed with me for a bit. I took him back to the reservation. And we had some experiences out there. Spiritual warfare. Where I saved this gentleman's life from an evil entity that to overtake him. And he was telling me that something was telling him to go outside the vehicle in the night to go run out there. And out there, told him, "Hey man, you gotta roll up your window before we go to bed," because we stayed in the car. And when I unlocked the door. That morning, when I woke up, the door was unlocked. I didn't leave the vehicle. I asked him, "Did you leave the vehicle?" He said, "No." So I stepped out to go to the restroom. And I seen some big prints on the ground behind my vehicle. And I told him, "Hey man, there's a reason why I tell you to roll up your window." And we ended up leaving back to Flagstaff where we're staying. And we took a drive out on Flagstaff and mountain, the back roads and stuff, sightseeing and stuff. And once again, we're experiencing some stuff spiritually. He's seen some things. And I picked up on it. I said, "Hey, there's something to my left, but don't look." But he looked. Sorry, it's kind of funny, but it's not. So when he looked, something was bothering him. He was terrified. He was scared. He didn't want to go back to res in a lot of places. So when I moved into this apartment, there was a demonic entity that was inside that apartment I didn't know of. And then whatever he experienced that he's seen came with him. So he was able to get the help because I showed him how to go about what he needed help with, and eventually got himself a place. And before he moved out, I told him, "Hey man, take that thing with you." And he chuckled. He's like, "What?" I said, "No, I'm serious. Take that thing with you. It's not mine." So he left. And when I was blessing the house, I went to that room that he was staying in. And I went to push the door open. There was resistance. And I had to force myself in there. When I forced myself in there, I heard a growl. So I went in there and prayed and blessed it. So At the time, I was still smoking. Still had some bad habits. And then the other Marine that said I'll help him out, my little brother, he came. He moved from that place and moved in. I'm telling you this because you'll see in a bit. So when he moved in, it was all good. And things started happening. I started missing my items, my jewelry, my earbuds, my car keys, my clothing, my bandana, things I take, things of that makes me happy, because I realized I wanted to be a medicine man and be a faith and be in God, and when I realized that, and he knew, and I remember we were standing, it was like this, so I was facing this way, he was facing this way, but we're standing like this towards each other. And something like, you could say the Holy Spirit came out and said, I remove evil. And he side-eyed me. Little did I know, with that demonic entity in the house still, he was a skinwalker. Navajo witchcraft. So I was living with one. When I get near him, I'll get my energy drained. I'll feel sick. Any food he gave me, I'll get sick. Any bad medicine he used would distort my thoughts, would cause me to feel some type of way. But because I'm of the medicine way, the good way, I'll use my protection as well. So when I gave him my food and blessed it, he would get sick. And over time, like I said, I was still smoking weed. We had friends over. But I noticed when he was giving the weed to me, he was using necromancy and bad medicine. He would lace it, put poison in there, bad medicine in the weed, lace it, where I taste evil. Piss, shit, blood, death, all that stuff. And I pray to God, the end, to use my vessel, to taste it. This is the bad medicine they're using. While going through this, it was causing sickness in me. But the goal was not to fall asleep, to not pass out. And I pray about it, take it all in. And I'll see warlocks inside a TV screen. So he was a warlock, skinwalker, plus a demonic entity in my apartment. That's what I was going up against in January. And when I would pray, especially with cedar, I wanted to burn it outside. Lit it, tried to light it, wouldn't light, and eventually it lit, but the flame jumped up at me. And he was sleeping. And he would do astral projection. He would sleep, he was like Freddy Krueger. So when I was burning the cedar, the flame grew big. And I was like, oh, I see what you're doing, but thank you for helping me like this because I wasn't able to start it. So I called a medicine man over to do a house blessing because I was going up against such evil. And this gentleman was on parole. And I asked him, hey man, you still talk to anybody? He says, no. Anytime I question about things that I'm missing, he'll get aggressive, overreact. Anytime I was in that house, my energies will go down. I'll start feeling sick. So it was good medicine, bad medicine, going against each other. And there was times where I was told spiritually through faith to leave. Eventually I left because they could see the cousin pacing back and forth, saying out loud, expressing in one fight. And I knew that behavior. I know that lifestyle. I started breaking off my habits, started taking care of myself better. And really focusing on my medicine, like medicine man and the holy way and prayer and eventually my good medicine, my herbal, my tobacco, things I use for ceremony. There were he put some stuff on there. And I could taste it. I could taste the bad. So eventually I did not use it anymore. And even my jewelry, turquoise, bow guard, earrings, is protection. Started buying crystals and rocks to help with my energy. And I also realized he was a vampire taking energy. Started searching for more help for that demonic entity. So I went to St. Francis Catholic Church in Flagstaff and told him my situation, my story, what was going on at home. And he anointed me. Gave me holy water. Got holy salt. Got it being bilingual, Spanish, English, Holy Bible. And I didn't go back home because I had problems with cardiac problems again, so I had to go check myself in the night prior. So, like I said, I did a house blessing with this medicine man. I had to be reverent for 4 days. And this 4 days of reverence, I couldn't do a lot of things. And the cousin was there. He participated. And everything the medicine man told me not to do, my cousin was doing those 4 things throughout those 4 days. I had to use my discernment. And he's trying to have me break the reverence so the blessing doesn't work. And it didn't work because I ended up getting cut. I ended up using the stove with fire with certain things. The medicine's powerful still, right? So I made it to St. Francis, got the stuff, and I checked out the hospital early morning because they dropped me off at a homeless shelter, which I already knew that was already closed. And this was like when it snowed, the first time it snowed heavy in Flagstaff. So about 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 in the morning, I was walking in the snowstorm, which was cool because I love the snow. And I just prayed, made it to IHOP, sat down, got some coffee, ate, warmed up, and eventually went back to the apartment. And I did a deliverance before I stepped inside my apartment into the door. I say God's victory. I put the holy salt all over the base of the floor, the windowsill, all over the place. And I had a lease, because I was signing a lease over to him. In between all this, family was helping me out from a distance, provided some help, like a motel room. So when I went to my room, there's some things I left out, because when I would go to my room, my energy would get drained. And when I looked on the floor, the walls, there's an upside down cross on my doorway. Underneath my bed, there was drawings of a crow, different designs that used evil. And I'll go around the building, I'll do my walks, I'll be followed. People will be hearing my conversations. Then I'll see this cousin jumping through, they call it portals. I'll see him down the road on a sidewalk on a bike coming my way. Then he'll see me, and then he's 300 feet where I see his back going the opposite direction. Now, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of any evil. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm afraid of God. That's it. Those things are just distractions. You don't be afraid of them. They're just distractions, you know. So I prayed to get more faith, learn about scriptures. So end up leaving that place. I left everything behind. I threw away all my stuff in the garbage. I left my vehicle there. I grabbed what I needed and I went to Utah, into family where I grew up at. And when I had my stuff, I noticed my stuff was all marked up, evil stuff. So when I put it on, they knew my whereabouts. So I threw all my stuff away again, bought new stuff, new credential, because devices, fraudulent, bank, identity theft, all this stuff was going on. So I talked to family about it. He told me to go to the temple. I went to the temple and started reaching out for help. Started getting blessings. Things started going good. And then eventually, I seen some false prophets. I started seeing more evil. The individual started following me. Then I found out, like I said, it's family that did a lot of the hurt, the pain, that caused the evil, chaos, division. And I started seeking help from the church. blessings. But then I'll start seeing things that normal people don't see. Did the church? And then I question it, or to see it, and like, what's going on here? It got so bad that I left my family's residence for 7 days. I fasted for 7 days, just drinking water. And I had 2 bags on me, only left with scriptures. I was getting hunted down by demonic principalities, demons, witches, warlocks. The community didn't want to help me out. I asked for water, didn't want to help me out with water. Could I use your phone? Sorry, you can't use the phone. And in this spiritual awakening, I met Yeshua. I met Jesus Christ. And God, you know. I went through hell in this physical world. I seen demonic beings 7 foot tall black figures at the temple, at the visitor center, floating around in the sky, crawling all over the temple. I'm not on any drugs. I'm sober. I'm not on any medication. I put everything through faith in God. I forgive and let go. Forgave those who trespass against me. It was a battleground in St. George, Utah at night, where they're putting a lot of drugs out there, laced drugs, poison. And I'll smell it. I knew I was familiarized with it because I grew up in that environment. And I was anointed. I was using my culture through faith and also God, Jesus Christ, and faith to go up against this. And he showed me that it was my family that was doing all this. But then again, it's a demonic entity that was creating that division, that diversion, chaos, destruction, disrupting. But because my faith was so strong and I was building it, the more they try to put that illusion out there. I lost 3 people back to back, December, January, and February. My mom in February. Another lady who I consider a mom, grandma figure, a friend. Another lady in December, same thing. The night that when I was going through the battle against these evil things, these evil beings, because I can hear people using telekinesis. They did humiliation rituals. They did sex magic, X magic. Sorry. They did a lot of things. I forgave and let go. I surrendered it to God. I was able to withstand all the storms, all of them. And just me and God. My stuff would be marked. I cut my hair because of it. And they used that hair against me. They used my items against me. My family's poisoning me. Bad medicine, evil. While going through this process, I was repenting, forgiving my sins, and also forgiving those that trespass against me. When I was speaking, saying, forgive yourself, repent, it would get silent. They would all the vehicles, the people that were moving around, would all stop in place and listen. In the public, in broad daylight. I would see the reptilians. I see a bunch of evil down there. There's a bunch of things that was going on that people don't pay attention to. Maybe they do, maybe they don't speak up. But I'm different. I seek truth and speak the truth. I was reading the scriptures. While reading the scriptures, I have certain angels and things come to me and speak about the scriptures and who they are. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have the blessings and miracles that I have now. I'm sharing my story because it needs to be heard. When you have faith in God, you're able to overcome everything in your life that's in front of you, and spiritually go against a lot of people, a lot of evil. Like I said, I'm not afraid of the devil. I'm not afraid of leaning into evil. He's below God. He's below Jesus Christ. He's below yourself. You start loving yourself, taking care of yourself, and having prayer and building that faith. I was able to withstand things that normally take people out. Bad medicine, poisoning, all the evilness. Gang stalking. I cut ties. No contact. Family and friends. All I need is myself and God. That's who I found. And He's been my blessing. He's been my miracle. To be able to share this story and live through going through hell multiple times and seeing demonic entities in real life and know who's who and what they're about. And you can smell the stench off them. The reptilians, the evil, the witches, the warlocks. There's things that God does and miracle-wise blessings. He'll provide you the tools, the provisions. He also anointed me on Easter. I heard His voice. He told me to kneel down, use my holy water, the blood of Jesus Christ, and He anointed me. So when I read from the scriptures, that demonic being there, I could hear the demonic being getting frustrated. And this demonic being was distorting my thoughts, my eyes, my visual when I was reading the scriptures, and it wasn't the right thing to say. Wait, that's not it. And I was getting real tired. I was fighting it. Like I said, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of evil. I'm not afraid of demons. I'm not afraid of witches. I'm not afraid of anything that comes against me, even human-wise, if they're about that. I was gifted to remove evil, do blessings, and bring it into light, and share my story to let you guys all know that you can overcome these things and wake you guys up. And sharing my story because it's real, spiritual warfare. It breaks up family, friends, relationships, yourself. If you don't repent, forgive your sins, and have that faith, and have that hope. Know that God's there. Your guardian angels are there. Your ancestors are there. The angels are there. Your help is there. You just gotta believe. Look at me. I'm healthy. everything I went through. And I don't know about those people that did all the harm towards me, did all the bad, the rituals, the craziness. It's not my problem. I surrendered it to God. I surrendered to Jesus Christ, I surrendered to them, the holy ones. I'm here telling you what I went through in my experience. I'm the example of coming through out of all that, out of hell, and speak it and then continue. I'm about God and Jesus Christ and my church, my belief too, my authentic self, my genuine self, my culture. And it takes to just love yourself, and you'll find God in yourself, your faith. So that's what happened. And if the government or the agency or whoever, because I tried going to the cops for this information as well. I tried reaching out to who I need to. I don't know if they took my story. I don't know if they're looking for me to figure out the situation here, or if they found out anything. You guys need to talk to me to find light in this case. I'm willing to talk about it. I'll tell you the truth. What happened to me and what I went through. If it brings any leads for yourself to solve this case. And I hope this finds those people who might be lost or confused or misguided. That you find God, Jesus Christ, or your belief in God, So you can get through this. It ain't easy, I'll tell you that much. A lot of stressful days, but you gotta learn to forgive yourself, forgive those that trespass against you, regardless of what happens to you, because they're using telekinesis, they're using voodoo dolls, they're using all sorts of things they could think of to shut me up, to keep me quiet, to make me afraid, to have fear. Like I said, I'm only afraid of God. That's it. So I was gonna say Hajun, which is walking beauty. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Because there's a lot of craziness out there in the world. Love thy neighbor. Take care of one another. Speak up for one another. Stand your ground, stand firm, knowing that God has your back. Your ancestors has your back. Your guardian angel has your back. Your angels. Your spirit team, your spirit guides. There's help out there. Reach out to the right community. Reach out, find help. And if you got any questions, you can, comment. Be careful out there. I love you guys. And I know you guys can get through this, as I did. A lot of people overlook me. That's okay. Because I know God's got my back. Jesus Christ, my ancestors, my team, angels, guardian angels. I came out of darkness, and I'm here, healthy, not sick. Still carrying on. I have a tattoo on my back that says Simplify. It has the eagle feather straight. Side, shoulder, and ribbon, eagle feather. It's a reminder for myself too. It means always faithful. So in a way, it's like my angel wings. See, I'm all in good spirits. Regardless of what happened to me, I forgave those trespasses against me. And I surrendered it all to God. I hope this enlightens you, brings light to you. You know that there's probably others that go through the same similar stories. You can get through this. I believe in you. I have faith in you. And with that, I want to show you this river. We call this river of life, this water, or Navajo, grandma's water, turquoise. Look at the beautiful sun. The sun is also warmth. If you feel alone, you're not alone. Feeling that sun is like warmth of your loved one. You're like God's hug. It's a beautiful day out there. Enjoy your day. Appreciate waking up every morning, taking a breath of fresh air. You know how they say 24 hours you're able to live again. Think about every breath you take. That's brand new life every breath. So that's my story in a nutshell. And I pray that you may be guided to this and hear this story out. And it helps you. Because I believe in humanity. I believe in balance and harmony and love and compassion through God, through my angels, my ancestors, and guardian angels and the saints, through prayer, obedience. So, I love you all. You guys take care. May you have a blessed day. And enjoy yourself. Smile. Amen. May peace be with you.